Okay, so let's solve this question. So it says if 2 to the power of 1 minus y multiplied by 2 to the power of y minus 1 all over 2 to the power of y plus 2 equals to 8 to the power of 2 minus 3y. Find the value of y. So that's the idea to the question that we are solving now. So how does it work? So we do this, okay? So let's solve. So we have 2 to the power of 1 minus y times 2 to the power of y minus 1 over 2 to the power of y plus 2 equals to 8 to the power of 2 minus 3y. So first of all, let's try and simplify some things. So let's simplify the numerator and apply the addition law of powers. Since the bases are the same, we can basically say something like 2 to the power of 1 minus y plus y minus 1 because they are multiplying. Okay, so over 2 to the power of y plus 2 equals to 8 to the power of 2 minus 3y. So if 1 subtracts 1, we have 0, minus y plus 1 is 0. Or let me show that well. So we rearrange this to say 1 minus 1 minus y plus y over 2 to the power of y plus 2 equals to 8 to the power of 2 minus 3y. So 1 minus 1 is 0, minus y plus 1 is 0. So all of this here adds up to become what? 0. So we have 2 to the power of 0. So 2 to the power of 0 over 2 to the power of y plus 2 equals to 8 to the power of 2 minus 3y. So 2 to the power of 0 is a 1, and 2 to the power of y plus 2 equals to 8 to the power of 2 minus 3y. So from this step, we can now cross multiply. We can say something like 2 to the power of y plus 2 is multiplied by 8 to the power of 2 minus 3y equals to 1. So now we have, in order to continue forward from here, we can say, we can make everything on the left hand side to be in terms of 2. That's 8 is 2 to the power of 3. Can say 2 to the power of y plus 2 multiplied by 2 to the power of 3, open bracket, 2 minus 3y is equals to 1. So we have 2 to the power of y plus 2 multiplied by 2 to the power of 3 times 2 is 6, minus 3 times minus 3y is minus 9y is equals to 1. Okay, so then to continue, let me continue straightforward from the next page by repeating this line. So we have 2 to the power of y plus 2 multiplied by 2 to the power of 6 minus 9y equals 1. So what do we do from there? We can put everything together to say 2 to the power of y plus 2 plus 6 minus 9y equals 1. So you can say this is 2 to the power of y plus, so we have y minus 9y plus 2 plus 6 equals to 1. We have 2, y minus 9y is minus 8y plus 6 plus 2 is 8. So that brings us to this part, which is 1. So you see, in order for us to continue this work that we have here, so it's okay for us to represent this 1 in terms of as saying 2 to the power of 0. So now this is the idea. We've seen from several examples that we basically need the left hand stuff and the right hand stuff to have the same base. Okay, so that is why we could say 2 to the power of 0, because 2 to the power of 0 is 1. So we say 2 to the power of 0 gives 1. To replace the 1, so we have it. So it's because this is a 2 here, and we can let it so that they have the same base, and we can move on from there. That's the idea that was used. So we say minus 8y plus 8 equals 0. So we can take minus 8y to the other side and say 8y is equals to 8, and we divide both sides by 8, we have y to be equal to 1. Okay, so that's the basic idea. So what we did was we simplified the numerator. It gave us 1. Then we cross multiplied and simplified this 8 to become 2 to the power of 3, and then applied the power of addition. And most importantly, in order to finish, we recognize that 1 could be rewritten as 2 to the power of 0. Right? So when we write it as 2 to the power of 0, we are able to solve. Okay, the idea is that 1 is anything with the power of 0 is 1. 2 to the power is good. So we could have said 3 to the power of 0 there, but it doesn't yield us any importance because we wouldn't have the same base, so that we can now equate the powers. We couldn't have had it if we had had 3 here while this says 2. We would not be able to equate the powers. It's basically because this is a 2 and this is a 2 here that we are able to equate the powers. So that's the basic idea, and that's what led us to getting y to be equal to 1. And we could check it as well. We could check our original left hand side from the beginning says that 2 to the power of 1 minus y times 2 to the power of y minus 1 over 2 to the power of y plus 2. So let's handle the left hand side from there. So this is the left hand side. Let's handle it now. So our left hand side says, hopefully, says 2 to the power of 1 minus y times 2 to the power of y minus 1 over 2 to the power of y plus 2. I hope I had that right. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, so what do we do from there? We can place the value of 1 there. So we have it to be 2 raised to the power of 1 minus 1 times 2 to the power of 1 minus 1 over 2 to the power of 1 plus 2. So 1 minus 1 is 0. So 2 raised to the power of 0 is 1 times 2 raised to the power of 0 is 1. So 1 times 1 gives us 1 over 2 to the power of 3. 1 plus 2 is 3. So 2 to the power of 3, which is 1 over 8. So that's what the left hand side says. So then the right hand side, the right hand side says something interesting. It says 8 to the power of 2 minus 3y. So we have it to be 8 to the power of 2 minus 3y. That is 8 raised to the power of 2 minus 3, open bracket. What is y? 1. So we've got to be 1. Okay, that's 8 raised to the power of 2 minus 3, and 2 minus 3 is minus 1. So we have 8 raised to the power of minus 1. And from indices, we learned that this is 1 over 8. So since the left hand side is 1 over 8 and is equal to our right hand side, which is also 1 over 8, then we know for sure that the question we got, that y equals 1, is indeed the right answer. So LHS is equals to the right hand side. So we know that our y is indeed y equals to 1. So that's that.